You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, pal.
How are you?
I'm great. I think you're even greater because of the topic that we're talking about today.
Are you excited? You're probably...
I wish I could have thought of a pun to kind of squeeze in there, but I didn't.
Yes, we need to... this is a topic near and dear to my heart. I've talked about many times on the podcast. As a fan of restrooms my whole life.
You were a wee girl.
Since I was a wee girl, we're inviting on the show today the owner and creator of the WDW Bathrooms account from Instagram, and we are super excited. So let's welcome her to the show. Welcome, Gabriella, to the show. We are so excited to have you join us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here too.
Well, this is a first for us because I have never reached out to an Instagram account just because I love their content and I had no idea who was behind it. And I was just like, you know what? I really want to chat with the person behind WDW Bathrooms.
Well, I'm so glad you reached out to me. Yeah, I just got this message in my inbox the other day saying, we did a podcast episode on Disney bathrooms and we'd love to have you on. I was like, really say no more. Anytime, someone walking down the street could say, hey, can you talk about Disney bathrooms for a second? And I'd stop what I was doing to chat about that. So I'm so glad you reached out and gave me a chance to, meet you guys and talk more about my favorite topic.
Well,
it's one of Fran's favorite Disney topics. So you two are two peas in a pod, and we talk about bathrooms on the podcast very often. It just happens to wiggle its way into many of our conversations.
That's amazing. It makes perfect sense to me.
It totally is.
There you go.
See? We're totally in sync. So I know why I am so obsessed with them because I drink a ton of water. So, but even as a young kid, I was always obsessed with bathrooms.
You're little.
Yeah, I've always had this obsession and I don't know why. But tell us a little bit about how you started this account. Like, why would you start this account and where did your sort of fascination with the Disney bathrooms come from?
So I've always loved Disney. I grew up close to Orlando, and so I really grew up in the parks, and I just have such a passion and respect for everything Disney. I've spent so much time in my life in the parks, and then separate from that, not so separate anymore, but separate from that, I am also just someone who is constantly in the bathroom. Like I also drink a lot of water, so I'm always going, but then also too, I think some people have maybe like kind of more anxious personalities. It's like, well, what if I'm in the car and then I have to go to the bathroom? So it's just like everywhere I go, a restaurant, the store, whatever, I'm always hitting the bathroom. and I see your reaction. You get this thinking. And I've been in bad situations before where I have ignored that instinct and it's not ended super well. So yeah. I'm someone who I always know where the bathroom is. I appreciate a good, clean bathroom. And so this account sort of started, it's going to be going on 7 years, I believe, 7 years ago, where my husband and I were at Disney, and we were just kind of joking about the fact that wherever we're standing in the parks, I can always direct. If someone's like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom before we hit, Soarin' or whatever, I know exactly where you should go. And so it sort of started as a joke of like, what if you created an Instagram account telling people the best locations for bathrooms? And that is sort of how it started with, oh, this is the most convenient bathroom for X itinerary. And then just sort of as I started paying more attention to the bathrooms, very quickly was like, well, these are beautiful. Sometimes we take them for granted, but the bathrooms are really an extension of the canvas that is a Disney park. And so pretty quickly, this went from, just sort of like a Disney tips account to oh, I'm going to do more research and make this more of a Disney design, Disney fun fact history journey. And it's been really fun.
Oh my gosh. I was nodding along with you there, and Carrie was laughing because as you're saying, like, well, what if I need to go when I get in the car? So I better go now. That's totally me. I'm
Yeah.
always the one saying, oh, no, 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 let's make sure where we're going. There's a bathroom there. And yeah, I totally
Road
relate.
trips are real fun.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Road trips with me, Carrie's always like, oh my gosh. And I try not to drink so much water when we're going
Yes,
anywhere.
I do too. I like kind of dehydrate myself on road trips. On my wedding day, I was pretty dehydrated because I was like, if I can't be going in and out of the bathroom this whole day. And so there's just certain times where I can't be as hydrated as I'd like. Like I'm a big, Stanley person. I'll go through without realizing it, 2 Stanleys a day. And that's not including coffee, not including tea. So I drink a lot of, water.
Liquids.
Yeah. And so it's moving through. But it is also there is just kind of sometimes I think, people who are into bathrooms, it's a little bit of a personality thing of, oh, like what if I'm caught in a situation, or what if I go somewhere and there's a line and I didn't go early enough. It takes up a lot of brain space for some of us.
It does. Oh my God. Do you know, like, it's so nice that Carrie's laughing at me, but it's like, it's so nice to
Carrie's
talk to
gonna
someone
log
that
off.
gets
She's
it.
finally found someone that really truly understands.
I'm so glad and you'd be surprised the number of people who find my account and message me saying, "Oh my goodness, I have, I spend so much time trying to figure out where the bathrooms are. Like I always want to know, and there is a safety in it, and knowing that if you're going to be doing something, you don't have to be concerned. Like if you know, okay, if I'm here, this is the bathroom I'll use, and I know it's not normally crowded, or it has good air conditioning or whatever. There's a lot to it. There's a lot wrapped up in it.
There is. And especially when you talk about the lines, there's nothing
Yes.
worse than you're thinking, okay, well, I got plenty of time. I know there's a bathroom. This always gets me at Disney Springs. Always, always,
Disney
always. That
Springs.
little tiny bathroom next to the Disney store. And I think to myself, I should walk further to the next one because the one that's right next to the Disney store there's always a big line.
Yes,
Always.
I feel like Disney Springs in particular is a spot that does not have the appropriate amount of bathrooms for the capacity of the place. It
Agreed.
is concerning. I've been in a lot of you never want to be in a situation where you're like balancing like, okay, should I just stand and wait in this line, or should I like run to the next one and hope that that one's got no line? And I feel like I'm
Yes.
always doing a lot of that math at Disney Springs.
Same, same. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally
It's
get it. See, Carrie, I'm not alone in this.
Oh, I know. I'm just so happy
um
you two have found each other. It's just
But Carrie, at least I imagine that even if you don't have some of this like mental space that's taken up with going to the bathroom, I think at least you can probably appreciate some of the
absolutely.
design and exciting
Yes.
theming that we
Absolutely.
get at
There's
Disney.
nothing I love more than a nice, big, spacious, like clean Walt Disney World or Disneyland bathroom for sure, just like
Yes.
every person. But I do have, have more concern for bathrooms now that I've had since having Fran in my life because that's what you do for your besties. You got to make sure that you're aware and you're there when needed too. So
Yes.
so I do know lots about bathrooms.
Wow.
Yes.
Maybe not as much as you two, but I feel that my repertoire on Disney parks bathrooms is very vast. Like I know where the good ones are, the clean ones are, the big ones are. I know all of
Yes.
those things, so I can be a good travel companion and
Good
do the
travel
She
showing
is.
companion.
when they're stressed out. I'm like, but don't forget that one, that one, that one, that one.
Yes, yes,
You know,
that's amazing. And then for people like you, Carrie, too, I also like to point out which bathrooms have good waiting areas around them.
Mm.
Like if you're traveling with a big party, because I mean, of course, Disney is a place where you see so many families and big groups, and not everyone's going to have to go to the bathroom at the same time, but it does kind of stop the whole train of if you're going somewhere and one person in your party has to go or two people. And there are certain bathrooms that are really good about, okay, there's sort of benches around there, or just kind of I always think the Pizza Safari bathroom in Animal Kingdom is right by the Starbucks, so I'm just like, what a gift. Half
Yes.
your group can go get the Starbucks order and the other half can go to the bathroom. Like that's a dream scenario.
Yes.
I've got a question for you because I know Fran's got she's going to ask you some
Yeah,
questions
ask
probably
away, ask away.
about the bathrooms you adore the most. But I want to know, which bathroom at Walt Disney World do you avoid at all costs?
That's a great question.
Good question,
Funnily
Carrie.
enough, funnily enough, given that I, do have this account, there are quite a few that I never use. There are, I go into all of them. Anytime I pass a bathroom, I go in to, take photos and videos and just kind of grab my content. But there are plenty that I don't use. Tangled for one, which is a little blasphemous. I never use the Tangled bathroom because
Really?
it is very crowded a lot of the
Yes.
time. And there are other bathrooms nearby that I'd rather use. Tomorrowland, the one next to Anti-Gravity's Cafe, is one of the most crowded bathrooms on
Mm.
property. I can't tell you the last time I saw the inside of that bathroom because I just don't bother with it. I just
Yeah.
don't bother with it.
Keep walking.
Walk in. So there are a lot of, but the thing with a place like Magic Kingdom is for all of the bathrooms that I just totally skip, you'll never catch me using the anti-gravity's bathroom. For all of the bathrooms like that, there are corresponding bathrooms that I think are great and are always kind of chill. Like there's the one next to, like in between Tomorrowland Terrace and Plaza Restaurant. That's a great bathroom. It's
That's
huge.
yes.
It's just very spacious, good air conditioning, view of the castle, and very rarely crowded. And
Yes.
that to me, I think because I am blessed to know which bathrooms are usually low crowd, I don't I don't mess with the ones that are super crowded. And so there's quite a list actually of bathrooms that I never use because I always know it's like, well, I can just wait, and especially because I'm kind of going from bathroom to bathroom to get content a lot of the time. I just sort
Yes.
of say, like, I'll just hit the next one. So, but I'm curious about you guys. So, do you guys have bathrooms that you hate using for whatever reason?
I think mine probably in the Magic Kingdom is the one in Columbia Harbor House
Oh, okay.
because while I love the story and how they kind of made it in the corner so that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
technically in Tomorrowland or in Fantasyland, it's so tiny that I have never been in there where there isn't a lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. And because that's such a big restaurant too. Like that
Yeah.
has these quick service restaurants have so much capacity in them. And it's just such a like, you know, s- um, Cosmic Rays is similar as well, where it's like this quick service restaurant is also serving as a break in people's day. And
Mm,
so it's a very common, I think, for the mindset to be okay, we're going to sit here and have lunch and then, oh, let's make sure everyone goes to the bathroom before we leave. And so then bathrooms like Columbia Harbor House and Cosmic Rays get a ton of traffic.
that's right.
Yeah. So,
Carrie, do you have one yeah. Carrie's like, yeah, no,
Like,
wherever.
I like to go to the bigger bathrooms and like, I hoping that they're clean and there's like lots of stalls and you don't have to wait too long or whatever.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I usually would go to ones that I know are the huge ones. Like, I know they can be crazy, but I also know like a lot of times, especially like the big ones that have like the two bays, like the new people that have never been there before don't know that there's an extra bay. You can kind of like get
Yeah.
people moving along and be like, oh, there's stalls over here. So I usually just pick the ones I know that are the big bathrooms. That would be my preference
That's
for many
nice.
reasons.
That is a very good plan. Always, always go for a big
Yes.
bathroom.
Of course, at
Yes.
Hollywood Studios, Gonzo's Royal Flush was my favorite. That is probably my favorite bathroom
I
on
know.
on
I
site. But
just posted about it today, actually.
It's
yeah,
so sad. That was like
It's
the
a so.
best, that was the best name for a bathroom
It
ever.
was. I watched the Muppet special on Disney Plus last night, and then today I woke up and I was like, okay, my post today has to be about Gonzo's because
it's awesome.
that was such a cool spot that it was. I mean, the bathroom was big. I will say the for my purposes, the lighting in that bathroom was atrocious.
Hmm.
Like my photos from that bathroom look like they were taken on like an iPhone 3 just because the lighting is so rough. But that was a really fun one. I'm hopeful that with the new Monsters Inc. stuff happening over there that we'll still see some kind of cool bathroom in that spot, because as of now, at least, when you look at the renderings and the art concepts of Monsters Inc., that building's still there.
Yeah, I'm sure they're
Yes.
not gonna. It's all set up
And
to be a loo, so I'm sure
yeah,
it'll
and so
stay
it's like
that way.
they're not gonna like waste all that plumbing. So it's like I think it'll
Yeah,
still be about, unless something crazy happens. Like I don't want to promise that it'll be a bathroom, but I think most likely it'll still be a bathroom. And so I'm hoping that they see how much people loved Gonzo's and do something cool for us. I don't know what that's going to be, but I hope they
yeah,
take the
theme it
love
up.
for Gonzo's. Yeah, make something really themed, just to kind of as an apology for getting rid of Gonzo's Royal Flush.
Yes. Now, do you have bathrooms that you like the theming, regardless of the size or anything, the actual theming that you love the most?
Yeah, so many. So Carrie, you mentioned Disneyland. Are you bi-coastal? Like, which parks do you find yourself in the most?
I
Couldn't tell you anything about the Walt Disney World bathrooms, but they could tell you everything about the Disneyland bathrooms.
Okay.
So, so
Okay.
definitely.
We
Yeah,
do both. I'm
you
a
do
Walt
both.
Disney World gal, and Carrie loves Disneyland. And you
Okay, so
know
this is
that your
perfect.
BFFs when Carrie's sending you pictures from Disneyland going, I just found yet another bathroom.
Amazing, amazing. So I'll start with Disneyland. So my favorite themed bathroom at Disneyland is called the King and Queen bathroom. It's in Disneyland Park. It's the Alice in Wonderland bathroom that is sort of near like the Matterhorn area, and it's not big, but the restroom sign is the Cheshire Cat, which is always really fun. The Queen of Hearts is, I call them the bathroom people, like the signage that is men and
Yeah.
women. I call them bathroom people. The bathroom people are the King and Queen of Hearts, and then the thing about it that is so lovely is that these stall doors are playing cards. And now stall doors are probably the least likely thing to be really themed in any given bathroom, because it's just kind of tough. You might get a cool stall door or something like, at a resort, a very like aesthetic looking door, but to get actual like theming involved for a stall door is pretty uncommon. And then so to have the most eye-catching thing in this bathroom be the stalls is really cool. And so every stall is a different playing card. And I have some photos where they're all open in a certain way and it looks like, kind of like an array of like a hand of cards. And I just love that one. Love that one.
See that day, you'd have to make sure nobody like it was pretty empty, but I could see you opening, like just making all those doors
Yes.
just so. So
Yes. Yeah,
the one thing
I don't
Disney,
always do, but sometimes I do mess with how doors
that's
are
good
in
for you.
photos.
You got to make a beautiful picture at Disneyland. Like they do this a little bit at Walt Disney World with like theming, like the entrance ways, like the ladies and men's, but at or whatever they at Disneyland they're all like that. Like I have like
Yes.
a Facebook album where it's called Name That Lou, and one time I went around
Oh,
Disneyland and I took pictures of every single sign, every single bathroom sign, and every single one has a themed sign. Every
that's
single one.
really cool.
Whereas at Walt Disney World, it's here and there, but not, I don't think it's everywhere. Or
It
maybe I
No.
just
is.
don't care enough to notice how
No, you're right.
that they're all themed.
It is here and there. There are big differences in the bathrooms between Disneyland and Disney World because of the ages of the parks. And so there's a lot of newer bathrooms at Walt Disney World, and that means that their signage has to be ADA compliant. And overall Disney, I think, is trying to change over a lot of their signs to match this compliance. And the super themed signs, like for American Disability Act compliance, and this is, I'm sure this is so much more than you ever wanted to know, but to be compliant with ADA, a bathroom sign has to have the stick figure that we are familiar with a bathroom person, and it has to be raised so that if someone can't see, they can touch the sign and feel it that way.
Ah.
And so Tangled is a really good example of this, where if you look at the Tangled restroom sign, in the women's restroom, the lady has hair, but it's technically behind the person. It doesn't look like Rapunzel. It is
Oh, it doesn't
that
interfere
official,
with.
yes, it's that official
Yes.
bathroom person with stuff behind it. So Disney overall is making moves to, I think, have all of their bathroom signage be like that and be ADA compliant. But because Disneyland is older, they've just kind of haven't caught up to doing some of the stuff that Disney World is doing. So that's why basically all of their signage is really nice. And like, more often you'll see things that say like, oh, prince and princess, as opposed to men and women. And so, yeah, probably so much more than you ever wanted
Well,
to
that's
know.
interesting. I'm gonna have to look at all the Disneyland signs or Disney World signs.
Yeah, and I mean
Yeah.
sometimes too you'll even see like certain bathroom and this is kind of my favorite way to go about this. Certain bathrooms will have two signs. One that is super themed and one that is ADA compliant. And so it's like this is kind of you don't have to like, sacrifice the theming. And then also to the ones that they do that are sort of ADA compliant with stuff in the background, those are really cool too. So it's like there's a lot of there's a lot of innovation in the bathroom signage world
There
that
is.
I was not aware of before I started this account.
I'm gonna have to go. I've never looked at the Tangled bathroom sign.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. It's something that I didn't notice at all until there was a cast member who reached out to me and mentioned something about it. And then as soon as you see it, you're like, oh yeah, like that is interesting that it's not on the person. It's a different thing. And like the Pinocchio Village house, bathrooms were just redone and like those little characters are kind of the same where they're more in the shape of a traditional, you know, bathroom person as opposed to something
Here,
that is just
first stop
purely.
when we go back. We're gonna
I
go
know.
straight to the Pinocchio bathroom.
Yes. Oh, the
And
Pinocchio
you
bathrooms
laugh,
look
but it's
great.
true. That's the
No.
Oh
type of
yes,
trip to-do list we have. We're like, what's on our to-do list? Go check out that bathroom.
I love it.
absolutely.
So,
You think my
so
to-do list isn't like that? Is 100% bathroom oriented.
we
Um,
don't have a bathroom Instagram. We don't have a Walt Disney World bathroom
yeah, I have an
Instagram
excuse.
account.
I have an excuse.
You
It's
do.
your business. It's your work. It's your passion.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is passionate. But yes. But sorry, I got on such a tangent there. I did the Disneyland themed bathroom for Carrie, and then for Francine, I was going to do Walt Disney World one. So at Walt Disney World, one of my favorites is the Abracadabra on the boardwalk.
Yes, yes.
That's a great bathroom. That's the one that's sort of magician themed.
Mm-hmm.
And the inside of the ladies' room at least is has a big, mural in the tile that says to the stage. Because I like this one for theming because it has one of the most concrete bathroom stories. And so the idea is that the bathroom is the dressing room for the magicians who used to perform at the Abracadabra. And so I just really feel like that one is very
Oh,
grounded. It looks beautiful. I mean, this is one of the few bathrooms that has the, vanity lights around the mirror like you would see in an old fashioned dressing
right.
room. But it's just very grounded in story that the magicians who worked at the Abracadabra, that was their dressing room.
Cool. I've never been in there before, so
It's a cool spot. It's yeah. So
Haven't.
this the story behind the Abracadabra is that it was a boardwalk era, in a golden age of the boardwalk hangout for these magicians who would perform at the boardwalk, and then one day they all just disappeared. We don't know what happened to them, but the Abracadabra was their hangout, and then the bathroom of the Abracadabra was their dressing room where they would get ready before their
cool.
performances. Yeah,
That's very cool.
yeah, so that's definitely a cool one.
I've been in that bathroom. Shocking, I know.
I
But
know, can't
Carrie,
believe
we'll
it.
put that on. We'll put that on our to-do list to
Your
take you
Disney
there.
must-do list.
Well, when we did our episode, we were actually talking about which ones were our favorites in Walt Disney World, and we had the park map out, and I discovered bathrooms I didn't know were there. And we were completely amazed how this was even possible. But they're the ones behind the Cheshire Cafe.
I love those ones. It's funny when we were talking about Magic Kingdom and how there are so many bathrooms I avoid in Magic Kingdom. I was thinking like, oh yeah, part of the reason I never go to the bathroom in Tomorrowland is because I'm always just going to the Cheshire Cafe ones because they're
Yes.
right there, right at the edge of Tomorrowland. There's really no ground lost. You're not like leaving Tomorrowland really. But they're great. They're large.
And
Usually
never
empty,
crowded.
never
Yeah.
crowded. I think my hypothesis is that they are going to be redone soon. Because Magic Kingdom right now is kind of going through the process of redoing a lot of their bathrooms that were not, I talk about on my account, Disney Bathroom Blue, which is the sort of Epcot Magic Kingdom standard bathroom look.
Hmm.
And a lot of those Disney Bathroom Blue bathrooms at Magic Kingdom in particular are being redone. The Pinocchio Village House was one. They're redoing currently the one next to Casey's. And so I'm kind of like, I wonder if the Cheshire Cafe is next.
Is next on
Is
the
that
list.
is next on the list? That those I'm so glad you found those. Those are great.
We had no idea. And that was so it became our mission on our next vacation. The next time we went to Walt Disney World, that was like number one on our to-do list was to go to Magic Kingdom and find these bathrooms. We have pictures of us
Yes. Oh my
going into the bathroom,
gosh.
like, yay, we found
Yes.
it.
Oh my gosh. You guys have to post these pictures and tag me. I want to
Oh
see
my
them.
gosh.
I love the Disney bathroom selfie.
Oh my gosh. And yes, we do take them. So at the resort, so you said the boardwalk. Are there other resorts that you really like the restrooms there, or is it mainly in the parks that you like the theming?
Oh gosh, it's everywhere. I mean, the resorts are nice because the resorts especially if you're hitting up a deluxe resort, the designs are a little more elevated. But also, too, the resort bathrooms are, of course, designed to have a lot of traffic because they're very busy, but not as much traffic as the
Hmm.
parks. So there are some design materials that are used in the resorts that you would just never see in the parks. Like for example, the boardwalk. Again, back to the boardwalk in lobby. There's wallpaper there. You would never see wallpaper in a park bathroom because it's just too fragile and they would be having to redo it all the time because these park bathrooms just get so much heavy traffic. So the resorts are kind of interesting to see just the differences in how design materials are chosen. But of course too, I love how the resorts are very there aren't a lot of resort bathrooms that are kind of like blank, quote unquote. Whereas in the parks, there are sometimes bathrooms that are kind of blank, like the, sort of standard Animal Kingdom tile, standard Epcot tile. But yeah, I mean, I find appreciation in really any bathroom. Like, even though I was mentioning I don't like Disney Springs for their, lack
Yes.
of crowd control. I do love those bathrooms too. In the parks, I love the Toy Story bathrooms.
Oh, me
Love those.
too.
Those are, I mean, theming wise, that's probably my favorite because just the detail in that bathroom is unbelievable. The thing I always mention to people that you probably don't realize is, of course, that building is made up of blocks and there's connects and what are they, the cooties creatures up top. There's some very obvious toys that are, making up this building. But if you go underneath the sign, like as you're entering the restroom, and you look up, the ceiling and then the light fixtures on the ceiling are a backgammon board. So,
No.
yes. And so that's something I went there a lot of times before I ever noticed that. But if you look up, I'll send you a picture. If you look up, it's a backgammon board, and then the can lights have rings around them that are textured like backgammon pieces. So it's just like, I think one of
Wow.
the things I love about the Disney bathrooms is so easy to just not do that. Like if they made that bathroom and didn't include that, no one would ever say, "I can't believe they didn't do
Yeah.
something with the ceiling." Like no one would ever say that, but still they took that extra step of saying, "How can we further our story of this land with design elements in this bathroom?" And I mean, I'm always so impressed. And I think the Toy Story bathroom is the most emblematic of that. Like how many little, like literally pieces, of these toy pieces went into making that bathroom. Just like that one too. The blocks are not flush with one another. They're like staggered a little bit as if a kid put them together. And like, again, just like if we'd still say how cool that bathroom's made of blocks if they were all, kind of at the same level, but instead they gave that some texture to it, and I love it.
I would, honest to goodness, like I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I don't, I mean, I love a good bathroom, but I would never have noticed like the wallpaper. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever noticed the different textures in the bathrooms at the resorts versus the parks.
Yeah, so I mean, I will say in terms of noticing things, there is so much to notice that I will admit sometimes there are things I don't notice until I'm looking back at photos I've taken. Like I'll think I've taken a photo of one thing, and then when I'm going to post, looking back, I'll realize, oh my gosh, like I never noticed that this, whatever. And it happens a lot more than you'd think, especially because when you're moving through the parks, whether you're, doing content creation or not, everything moves so quickly and
Yes.
you're just really blowing through your day. And so a lot of times I'll just take as many pictures as I can. And then when I get home, I'll notice, oh my goodness, I had no idea that this tile looks this way. Or, the ceiling at the Toy Story bathroom, I think is something I noticed in photos after the fact.
Wow. Now, do you have like a design background or something like how do you pick up on these things? Because I would never, although Carrie, this is stuff you would notice. You notice textures and things like that.
That's so kind of you to say that. I don't. I think part of it is that if, I have the privilege of having grown up at Disney, and I think that and being a fan of Disney kind of trains you to notice little things like that. I mean, just hidden Mickeys as a concept. It's like from, the beginning, you're sort of trying to, where can I find these hidden Mickeys? And so noticing details to me is a part of being a Disney fan. And two, I think, it's always rewarded. Like when I do think I'm someone who's good at picking up on details, but I don't have a design background. A lot of stuff I do, I have to research. And there's never been a time where I have looked at something and said, oh, I wonder if they did this on purpose. And then found out that, like, oh, that's actually nothing. Like every time I say, oh, I wonder if, this type of tile is specific to a certain area, I always find out, oh, yeah, like clearly the Imagineers and the designers did so much research going into this. So paying attention to details when it pays off in that way is really, really fun. I'm always like, a perfect example is the Canada Pavilion. They just so to me, they just opened. Other people would say they reopened. I have no memory of there ever being bathrooms near the Le Cellier Steakhouse, but other people swear that they were there before. So probably they were. They're
At
up
the
the
bottom?
stairs.
Like
No, up the stairs.
up the
There's a
stairs.
landing up there, and then
Yeah.
there's two companion bathrooms there. And people swear that they've been there, and then we're just shut down for a long time.
Carrie, do
I
you
have
know
no,
these?
No, I definitely don't know them.
I
yeah,
don't know them either.
yeah.
Huh.
So I have no memory of those. But regardless,
Okay.
when I went to visit those bathrooms, I noticed that there was a fleur de lis insignia on a lot of the tile, and so I thought, let me just do some research, see if that has anything to do with Canada. And of course, once you go into it, it's like, oh, this is like represents, the French provinces in Canada, and it's the symbol of Canada. It's like, of course, they're not just putting, the design choices that the Disney designers make in these bathrooms are not divorced from the location or the story. Like they're always pointing you back to what is the location, what is the story. And it's really fun. And so even though I don't have a design background or anything, I love researching this type of stuff. And it makes me so, so happy.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a lot of fun.
what park would you say have your favorite, like the most favorite bathrooms?
I think for me, Hollywood Studios has some of the best. I think some of the highest quality themed ones are, just by virtue of the fact that Hollywood Studios has both the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge bathrooms and then the Toy Story bathrooms. Just
Yeah.
with that alone, that weights Hollywood Studios so much more than other parks because both of those lands technically have two bathrooms because we have the main Toy Story Land bathroom that's in, the main area, and then the Roundup Rodeo barbecue bathrooms inside the restaurant.
Right.
Both of those heavily themed bathrooms. Beautiful, so, so well done. And then two, of course, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge has the two, the marketplace and then the outpost bathrooms that are both, basically the same, but just have such a cool aesthetic, like the way they've done those sinks with the pipes in the ceiling.
Yeah,
And then there's
amazing.
Amazing, like the way that they've like people sometimes will throw shade and say like, oh, those bathrooms look so dirty. I'm like, yeah, I know, because this is supposed to be like a rugged thing. Like this is not like they didn't just
It's supposed to be.
yeah, Galaxy's Edge is not like, it's not the Disney World of the galaxy. Like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to look a certain way. And so I think, yeah, Hollywood Studios really punches above its weight class in terms of, because I think sometimes people love to call Hollywood Studios like a half day park. And I'm like, well, but if you're going for the bathrooms, it's totally a full day park because just those two lands. And then too, even something like, the Hollywood Brown Derby, like those bathrooms are really, really nice and just very period specific.
Yes.
And so they've done a great job there. The primetime bathrooms are great as well. Very fun. Like the color palette in those bathrooms is totally specific to the 50s. And yeah, Hollywood Studios does a really good job with their bathrooms.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. What do you hope to get out of your Instagram account? Like why do you do it aside from just like, I mean, because it's a lot of work. I know it's a labor of love, but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Again, there's never been a time where I thought, oh, I'm going to stop doing this. I am fortunate enough that I go to Disney multiple times a year. And this has just sort of opened kind of a new level of appreciation and a new way to view the parks for me. And so for someone who's been going for, 25 years now, as much as the parks do change, sometimes it is nice to have this new lens to view things. Like I'm learning stuff about places I've walked past for all my life because I'm looking through this new lens. So I've never thought like, oh, this is too much work. I don't want to do it because I do just love it that much. I will put it out into the universe. I really want Disney to invite me to a press day. I really want.
Yes.
I have reached out to Disney and said, listen, when you open, what is it? Tropical Americas in
Yes.
Animal Kingdom. When you open Tropical Americas, when you open Monstropolis, please let me do it. Give me a media day invite and I specifically told them I won't take up a slot in the rides. I'm going to go right to the bathrooms. It's like I'm not even there. So I would love if one day I got invited to a media event. That's sort of my big lofty dream for this. So fingers crossed that happens one day.
How do you keep your finger? And I don't know, I'm not trying to be silly, but this is a serious question. Keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening with these watchers, right? And I don't like. I'm not meaning to be silly, but it is.
No.
I can't help but giggle about it. I know there's some fan websites that tell us when like paint cans, when garbage cans have been painted,
Yes.
things like that. Like, how do you know? Or is it just that when you're there, you got to do a lot of running around and checking in on things? Like, how do you know it's being renovated or what you need to check up on or whatever? Like, how do you plan like your strategy for what you've got to do
Yes.
from a washroom perspective before your trip?
That's a really good question. Thank you. Because it is a lot to keep up with. And because there aren't a lot of other, creators in this space, I can't really crowdsource from other accounts. But I am so, so lucky that the people who follow this account are so into it. And I'm not local. So I'm only, 2 times a year at Disney, maybe. And so those trips for me are a little stressful with getting content and whatever. But in terms of keeping up with like the news and stuff, people tell me like I would.
Makes sense. I guess now that you say that, I guess your followers would make sure that you were in the loop on things.
But it's not a given that people would care enough to reach out to me. And so I'm incredibly grateful for that type of community that has been fostered through just this love for something that's kind of silly. Like typically if there's a bathroom that's, opening or, was renovated and is reopening, I will usually on the day get photos from people of here it is, so you can put this out. And then two, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I mean, when Epic Universe was in previews, I had people who said, listen, you cannot post this, you cannot share this with anyone, but I just wanted to tell you what the bathrooms are like here. And
Yes.
so I think people know that I care enough, and then also know that there is like a crowdsourced element to keeping up with the day-to-day stuff. And so people are really great about saying, hey, I mean, just yesterday someone messaged me and said, hey, I've never seen this type of tampon in the bathroom at Carrie and Francine before. And I was like, that's news. Thank you. This is a new brand that they're, getting into. And so, yeah, I'm really, really fortunate that I have a community with me of people who are interested enough that they'll let me know when stuff's happening. And, it's been really special.
I love that. That's amazing. Now, do you look at the stuff at Universal? Because I have to tell you, the ones at Epic, those new ones in what's it called?
Darkmoor. I knew that's what you were going to say. Yeah.
They are amazing.
They're amazing. So again, going back to what I was just saying, I've seen all the bathrooms at Epic through photos that people have sent me, but I've not personally been. I went to I was very much a Disney child. I only went to Universal a couple times growing up. I went for the first time in like 10 years, 2 years ago. So like just before Epic Universe was relevant. I went to Universal and did some Universal bathroom stuff. But Epic Universe looks so cool, and I've been so impressed with some of the stuff that I've seen come out their bathrooms and otherwise, that actually we are planning a trip to Epic Universe, because I do want to go see the Darkmoor bathrooms and the Ministry of Magic bathrooms.
I think they're all done really well. Like if I think about the different lands, like
they are.
Yeah.
Everything I've seen, they're all very, very themed. Like the Nintendo one is I'm not a Nintendo person, so I'm sure I'm describing this incorrectly. But whatever the bathroom looks like, it's like a water level in one of the Nintendo games, and the music that they're playing is from that level. And like they've done a really good job with the bathrooms there. And so I mean, also, we're talking about what do I want from this account? Universal, if you're listening, I can get there sooner if you'd like. If you want to share some tickets with me,
Absolutely, because their bathrooms are so well themed.
They are.
And they,
yes.
you know what? But they need to bring you down then so that you can photograph them and showcase them for them.
Yes. I mean, Disney, of course, my first love, but I mean, Universal's done a really good job too. Like the bathrooms in Diagon Alley, they are bathrooms that you see in the last Harry Potter film. Like for a brief moment, but they are from the film. And they've done a really good job. So Universal, I'd be happy to come.
Universal, I'm here. I want to see you get a media invite, because I think that is so true. Everybody will be rushing through Monstropolis to go see the new attraction, whatever, and you'll be parked at the bathrooms.
And I'll be like, how did you honor Gonzo's?
Yes.
Show me how Gonzo's was honored.
You need to get one of those. Let's put that out into the universe for you.
Yes, I hope so.
Oh my god! I
feel guilty that I don't give the bathrooms enough love now after this conversation. Like I'm feeling like
once you start paying attention to it, though. Once you start paying attention,
and be like, "Hi, how you doing?"
Yeah.
You'll find a love for them. I promise. You'll find a love and appreciation, and also some people come at it in different ways. Some people are like, I only care about the air conditioning. Which bathrooms have the best air conditioning? So people come at it from different ways, it's very cool.
Yes. The air conditioning is always key. The ones that used to be my favorite for that were I used to say they were the coldest bathrooms on property, were the ones when you get off the monorail at the Contemporary Resort. When you
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they were always absolutely freezing, but the last two trips, it's like they fixed the temperature. But for like 10 or 15 years, they were the coldest bathrooms you'd ever find.
That's so funny.
You would
I've
walk in
never
and
You
you'd
need to
noticed
start
put a
that,
shivering.
sweater on. You need to put a sweater on.
which is perfect after being outside in Florida all day.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. This was so much fun talking to you, Gabrielle. I could talk to you all day about
I
the
could talk to you
bathrooms.
all day. I didn't let you guys get a word in. I just like you just like turned me loose on this topic.
We love it.
Oh, good.
We love it.
We love it.
And now you have two friends who, whenever you need content, if we're down there, I mean, we're both Canadian, but we're down there quite a bit.
I thought
So
I
yes,
detected some
Canadian accents.
yes. I love it.
But yes, absolutely. We'll definitely be keeping in touch with the bathrooms and sending you stuff
Please
while we're down
do.
there.
Please do. I'm excited to keep up. When is the next time you guys will be there?
I'll be there in a couple of weeks, and then I think Carrie, you're there in 4 weeks, 3 weeks, four
Yeah,
weeks.
about a month after you. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
cool. I love that. Well, I'm excited to keep up with your trips.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
And if
fun.
for everyone listening, you're going to find Gabriella through WDW_bathrooms on Instagram. And did I see you have a Facebook page now as well?
I do, yes. I'm not, I'm new to Facebook. I Instagram was really encouraging me to get a Facebook page, so now I've got a Facebook
Yes.
page, and so I was trying to get people to follow that. But yeah, follow me on Facebook too, I guess.
You know what? I will link to both of them in the show
I
notes so that
appreciate
people can
it.
find you because it's important they follow you everywhere.
Yes, thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you guys inviting me on. It's just so great to meet more people in the Disney community, and that we could talk about bathrooms was even better.
Well, that was fun, Carrie.
It was a lot of fun. And we made a friend tonight. Oops, there I go again. It's nighttime when we're recording. We made a new friend. We made a new friend.
We
So
did.
it was really cool.
She was absolutely lovely.
Delightful, yes. Very
And
much so.
I learned so much. I thought we knew a lot about the bathrooms. Like we did a whole episode on them and yet look at all we learned.
Well, we have to think about a topic to talk about, and then we're going to bring her on as the expert.
Yes. I
She's going
love
to be our
it.
expert, and maybe I think we could, like I had mentioned, we could probably think about 5 or 10 different topics around Walt Disney Park bathrooms, but we'll have to think of one, and then she can be on as our witness guest, or her witness was his
Our expert.
our expert guest. Not witness protection plan, the expert guest. So it'll be
Yes.
cool.
Yes. But you know what we did forget? I forgot to
Mm.
tell her before we recorded and then forgot to ask for her pixie dust. So at the end of every episode, we share something that brought us joy this week, reminding us to focus on good things. And I forgot to tell her about it in advance and then forgot to ask her. So we'll ask her on the next time she comes back on. But this week, Carrie, what was your pixie dust?
The Muppet Show. Well, it should be everybody's pixie dust for this week. That the Muppet Show. I don't know when this is getting
I was
posted,
going to
but
say this will
in current in
this
current time when this is getting recorded, I don't care about the timeline or whether it's supposed to be a month in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 6 months in advance. This episode we're recording, it doesn't matter because the Muppet Show is awesome. The
it's
one
all about the
episode
Muppets.
that we got on Disney Plus yesterday, February 4th. Just so you know, since we're gonna out the timing of it, was totally awesome. So that's my pixie
By
dust.
the time this goes live, we will have already done our review. Was 2 weeks ago on the Muppet episode.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. It's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's what you get for organizing something so far in advance. Usually that's not the case.
We're
So
usually such last minute kind of gals, but this time we were on
usually
top
our
of
pixie
things.
dust is relevant. And this time it's not going to be. But I'm
Well,
sorry,
who are we
guys.
kidding? Carrie, the Muppets were going to be your pixie dust for like the next 6 weeks because I know what's going to happen. The next time we're recording, I'm going to say, "What's your pixie dust?" And you're going to say, "I watched the Muppets again."
I watched the Muppets. I think I watched it like 8 times yesterday. What's your pixie
I
dust
watched it 3 times.
other than the Muppets?
I
Other
watched
than the
it
Muppets.
3 times. You know what, Carrie? My new obsession is watching old 80s sitcoms. And I'm not sure if I told you, but like I started watching the old, remember the show Frasier? I
Oh yeah, you
watched
told
it.
me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I watched that, but then it finished. So then I was like, now what? Like, obviously, I've watched Three's Company 1,000 times, so I don't need to watch that again. So I'm trying to find 80 sitcoms that I never watched when they were
You know what you
on
should watch? The
the air.
1975 to 1980 Muppet Show is what you should watch.
Oh my gosh.
But
Well,
other than that,
right now I'm
like,
watching Cheers. I just started watching Cheers.
oh,
I never watched it when it was on.
I didn't really watch it either because I think like the age I was at, maybe it wasn't what I was
Same.
into.
But
You know
it's
what would be
actually pretty
really cool to
funny.
watch? Who's the Boss? Can you watch that anywhere? Do you remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
show?
You can. That's I did start watching that, but I think I only got 1 or 2 seasons in.
You
Um,
know what else is funny that I have the DVDs like because I don't have certain ways to watch a lot of stuff, so I don't think I could watch Who's the Boss. But like I have the DVDs for Family Matters,
oh,
and I
fun.
have the DVDs for I've got some old DVDs like of certain genres of that like that type of 80s 90s whatever. But and what else do I have? I have oh, I'm trying to think of some of the ones I have, but there's some I have Three's Company. I have Family Ties.
Oh,
That's
I
the one
loved
with
Family Ties
Michael
when I
J.
was a kid.
Fox.
Yeah.
I have a few of them because I could never like I can't watch them anywhere because I don't whatever. So I bought some and but then I forget now that
You
you don't use
should,
DVDs, like I never watch them. But I do
but you
have
should.
a few key like see like maybe not all the seasons, but like sprinklings of seasons of some of those shows that I like to watch back in the old days. But then like who watches DVDs now? I think they're
You
kind of
should
coming back a little bit, but
you should totally watch some of them because you know what, Carrie? The humor is just so pure and hysterical.
out of
I
Golden
laugh
Girls,
out
I have some
loud.
Golden Girl
Of
seasons. I'm
course,
trying to
the
think of
Golden
which ones I
Girls.
have.
They're awesome. So it's
But I
fun. Like that's my new obsession right now is just watching every day I watch 1 or 2 episodes of an 80s sitcom and I love it. And it just makes me laugh.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Well, thank you for listening till the end of our podcast. And if you get a chance, please leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.